Hey everyone, it's Ari with Awkwardly Psychic, and today I want to talk about the 5 crystals I would start with if you are starting to work with crystals. Now, this is just my opinion, and there's a million opinions out there, so you do you. I'm also going to tell you how I use them, but there's going to be other people who tell you other ways to use them. There's other things that you can look up. So this is all from my point of view, and yeah, if you don't like that, that's okay. Stop watching my video. Works out. Okay, so for me, top crystals that I would say to start with after going through my spiritual path, number one is selenite. Okay, so selenite is that stone right there on my necklace. It is almost always on my body, especially if I'm leaving my home. I also have it in a variety of sizes, and the size doesn't necessarily matter, you guys, even though I really love big crystals. So I do have some pretty large chunks. But I use this crystal for many things. One, selenite is self-cleansing. Okay, now I will cleanse this one just because I wear it all of the time, and it is a huge like barrier for me and negativity. But like I have this piece here and I keep it next to me. My pendulum sits on top of this to cleanse it after every time that I use it. There's a giant block of it outside of my house. So everyone who walks into my house is going to get cleansed of some of that negative energy as they walk in. I also have little pieces of it over every doorway in my home. Okay, along with black tourmaline, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I have these pieces of selenite that I keep my crystal bracelets on because when I wear these, that way when I put them on, they're automatically getting cleansed. And then there's things called like charging plates that you can get. This one a friend of mine made and gave to me, that they can have carvings, they can just be blocks. I can put other crystals on those to either charge them or to cleanse them as time is going on. Okay, and at some point we'll go into more about charging and cleansing and all of that. But selenite is just a really good one to have as a tool to cleanse your other crystals as well. But it really helps me with keeping away the negativity and kind of creating a force field of love and joy and all the things I want around me. Okay, so selenite's a big one, and it's really inexpensive, you guys. So if you're finding super expensive selenite, keep chopping, because it is definitely one that you can get. Big giant chunks of it can be pricey for sure, but you can find smaller pieces very inexpensively. Okay, next crystal that I want to talk about would be just a regular quartz, you guys, and I have it in a variety of sizes. I've got a big one right here, and you don't need to have giant pieces of quartz. You can have these little guys, right, that you can get, again, very inexpensively. Now, here's what I love about quartz. Lots of things. Quartz is what I would call kind of the Swiss Army knife of crystals, right? It can amplify the energy of any other crystal. And so one of the things that I love about quartz is that if I do not own a crystal and I look it up and it's something that says you can use that, what I will do is I will ask for the energy of that crystal that I don't have to come in and be a part of the quartz that I'm holding in my hand so that I can benefit from crystal's energy that I don't actually own, which has saved me a lot of money in the long run, even though I still own a lot of crystals. Some people might tell you that that doesn't work. I have felt it work for me. And it's all energy, right? This quartz is energy. I'm energy. My cat is energy. So we can call in that energy and ask that help. And quartz is one of those ones that amplifies any crystal. So that works for me. I also think it's beautiful. I also use it as a way to shield myself. So there's always like a piece in my purse, or on my being or in my pocket. And when I put it in my purse or I put it in my pocket, I ask for it to help shield me from anything negative that might be trying to come my way. So quartz is awesome for that. It also is part of my routine around my computer before I start a Zoom meeting. Another part of my routine is black tourmaline. So this is a pretty good sizable chunk of it. It's one that's slightly smaller. And then I got this little guy right here. Okay, so black tourmaline, another affordable crystal. Black tourmaline is really good for soaking up that negativity. Any of those dark stones are going to be that way. Obsidian, smoky quartz. So I have a little chunk of black tourmaline along with a little chunk of selenite over every door in my house, again to help with that negativity as people are coming through and going through in my house. I've seen a major difference. Again, that selenite is helping cleanse that black tourmaline, but periodically I go through my house and smudge, or I use my bigger selenite to do that. And also I ask the moon to help cleanse and recharge everything every full moon. I don't take everything down. I just walk through like this. There's another video about that. So if you watch my videos, you'll see why. So black tourmaline is a great one to have. It's another good one to carry with me, especially if I know I'm going into a setting that's tough. I also use it around my computer. Dark stones can help with the, now I can't remember what it's called. All of the stuff that your computer puts out. You know what I mean. You can Google it if not. So I have that around as well. Okay, so talked about selenite, talked about quartz, talked about black tourmaline. Let's talk about rose quartz. Rose quartz I have in multiple different ways as well. I've got these raw chunks right here. These are super, super affordable. You guys, you can find rose quartz out in any gravel as well. And then I have like this little massager right here. Now, this massager right here, you will often see me holding it over my heart space and rubbing my heart space, my heart chakra. Rose quartz is so good for your heart. So if you are going through challenges, if you're doing heart work, if you're doing inner child work, if you are just really down in the dumps, rose quartz can be really, really lovely. It's like a hug, you guys. Even just holding it here, it feels so good. So rose quartz jewelry can be really good if you are trying to take care of your heart space. If you're working on self-love, I highly recommend rose quartz. Again, make sure you cleanse it, you guys. So just run it through your selenite. Rose quartz is one you can run underwater, so that can also cleanse it. And again, asking the moon to charge those things and to help cleanse it can also be a really good thing to do. And then fluorite, you guys. Fluorite is another one that can be affordable, can be expensive. It depends on how you get it. This little sheet right here was a little more pricey because you can see it's so pretty. But I have a ton of these little chunks that I got for next to nothing, and I've got some fluorite jewelry. Fluorite is the one that I wear when I want to put an extra protection around me when out in public, because I believe that it helps shield me from the little germies and things like that out there. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not saying that this is the only thing you should do. I just feel like it keeps me extra safe when I am out in public for that. It also has a very calming effect on me. And I also just think it's really pretty. So it helps me as well. So fluorite is one that that I will definitely wear and have been wearing these last few years as we are going through all of these challenges with all of these viruses and things that are out there. What's interesting about fluorite is that there are people who I know personally who have worn necklaces and sometimes things will break. And there is some belief out there that sometimes those break after they have taken up all they can take up. So if something breaks like that, honoring it and thanking it for doing its job is a really nice way to deal with it. So that can definitely happen with fluorite, but fluorite is another one that there's almost always a piece of it in my purse. And a lot of people will carry it around in their bras. It is also one that I will be holding to my temple if I has my brain racing too much or if there's any tension there, because it can definitely help me with that as well. And one that I will rub on my knots in my back. So that is how I use it. Okay, so those are my top 5 to start with. Okay, so again, selenite, this sucker right here, you don't need a piece that big. Quartz, black tourmaline, rose quartz, and our beautiful fluorite. So you guys, there's all sorts of different things. If you have different ways you use it, please share them down in the chat. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form, but this is how I use these for my well-being. Okay, love you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.